So please welcome to the channel my new broken, smashed, absolutely ruined BMW M2 Competition. So I cannot believe I've owned this BMW M2 Competition now for 9 months already, and looking back at the damage, I cannot believe how bad the damage is. I don't remember it being this bad. Pretty much every panel on the car is damaged. What we're doing now is just looking back over the last 9 months of progress to see how far we've come to this date. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen this car before, click in the top right hand corner and go back and watch all the previous videos leading up to today's video. And yeah, we have clearly come some way because it was in a bad way. Here you can see the roof being done. That was a major structural part that needed to be repaired, and we actually ended up fitting a carbon roof to the car, which you'll see in a minute. So let's just look at some of the images and some of the footage from where we've come in the last 9 months, and you'll join me in a moment up to date. To today. So let's just have a look around it, because if I'm honest, I barely remember what's left to do apart from the obvious. So we have our front bumper, which needs to be painted. I mean, the panels here have just been test fitted, so they're not fully secure. They were just done purely for panel gaps, just to check alignment, everything like that. There is a side skirt. The side skirt here is the only part that's left to actually replace, and I do have a new side skirt, so we can fit that. So this major repair on this rear quarter panels actually came out way better than I expected, along with our carbon roof, which is fully fitted. All we got to do is put some seam sealer just along here and fit our trims that go along there, which I do now have. One is in white, one is in primer, because I had to buy a new one, so I need to paint both of those gloss black just to match in with the rear windscreen and the carbon roof. The white doesn't look very good. What else have we got? We need 2 rear tyres because they are the wrong tyres and they are pretty much on the wear limit as well. And there's just loads of odds and sods that we've got to do. Like the, I mean, look how dusty the interior is. It needs a proper clean as well. We have a couple of trims to fit, wing mirror to fit. There's just loads of trims everywhere from where they fitted the windscreens and the front screen and the side window as well. There's just, yeah, trims, rear bench, just everywhere, little screws everywhere. We've got to fix our side skirts on properly as well. We have our scuttle panels to fit, windscreen wipers to fit. Under the bonnet, what I actually have done off camera is replace my LED module for the daytime running light, and if you remember, it was damaged. I tried to repair it and it didn't work, so I have now fitted a new DRL module and that all now works fine. What else have we got? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and if you remember in the last video I said about this grille, I tried to order one from BMW and they said that there wasn't any in the country available, and there wasn't an update till, I think it was March actually, so this month. And even then it was just going to be an update on production supply. But this is where LLL Parts have helped me out again. If you remember in the last video or one of the previous videos, they helped me out with the oil cooler on the offside, and they actually managed to get me a brand new grille. Even when BMW UK couldn't get me one, they managed to get me one. So yeah, massive thanks to LLL Parts as well. I'll put a link to their description. They do loads of genuine factory parts, BMW, Audi, etc. So yeah, I'll drop a link to them in the description. So yeah, they were better in BMW parts on this occasion. So let's get back in the workshop, because there is some wiring we've got to do. You can see the parking sensors are missing. We need to fit those. I've got an outside temperature sensor to fit as well. So there's just a few more bits to do and some under trays to fit. And then I think I can MOT. Can I MOT it? Yeah, I can MOT it with mismatched colours. I think we're going to try and MOT it and road test it for the first time. Beautiful. So another thing LLL Parts helped me out with as well is this parking sensor wiring loom. So mine was completely missing, and luckily it is just a connection on the side here. Here, look, and that is the whole loom. So I've just hooked it all up into the bumper. So all the wiring is there, present and correct. I've just got a couple of sensors that came off the old one. I've ordered 2 more to replace the 2 missing ones, and that should be all the sensors done. I have just gone and picked up a host of new parts as well. I wonder how long this under tray has been sat in BMW UK waiting to be purchased. So we have another, well, I think it's just under 900 quid. Not everything's here. There are a couple of trims, I think a couple more of these that were on back order because they haven't been made, and I can see why they haven't been made, because this one's clearly sat in stock for a long time. But we've got just loads of under tray trims, wheel arches, and I should also have, I've also got my metal plate there as well, because the old one was just slightly bent, so I just thought I'd get a new one. And loads of clips and bolts as well to hold all these under trays on, and a steering rack gaiter as well, because the other one was missing. So yeah, loads of stuff to go on. So I'm now just going to go ahead and fit all these trims that I've now got, starting my steering rack gaiter. We have to fit that first because there's a couple of clips we've got to fit on each end, and then we've got to surround the whole thing with about 3 or 4 different trims. So we need to get that on first. Now I'm going to put on our under tray, which luckily bolted straight up, no problems first time. And I've got to try and decipher the location of all my under trays and wheel arch trims, which I managed to do. It took some time, but we got there in the end. Right, so we're getting there, making slow progress. One thing I have noticed between BMWs and Audis is there's a lot more under trays and trims on, well, especially on this M2 Comp anyway. On Audis, there's generally just all your components that you need and one big under tray that just covers everything up. But on this, there seems to be, I don't know, 10, 15 different trims. It's like around this steering rack, you've got one trim there, but it's not a one piece, it's a 2 piece. So you've got a trim there, a trim this side, and then you've actually got, which I have just now ordered again because I was missing it, a trim that then sits under it all. And then you've got this metal under tray, you've got the front under tray here, and then you've got the back of the wheel arch liners. It's just a bit of a pain. Yeah, so these 2 trims here, look, you can see that there's fixings there. So there's an obvious bit of trim that I'm missing on both sides. So I have just ordered those. I'm hoping they will be here tomorrow. But we have got, I found out where this went. It just went bang in the middle. So you've got a gearbox oil cooling duct there. And yeah, we are getting there. So I have ordered this trim here, but that is on back order. So I did order it nearly a week ago. So they did say 7 to 10 days. So that may show up in today's video. It may not. But otherwise, the underside is looking good. So the next thing I want to do is just sort this side skirt out so we can put our wheel arch liner on properly. I've got it down here. It is not Hockenheim silver, it is white, but it's a nice M Performance white. So we're going to get that on, and then the car will be officially 4 different colours, and that will be all panels complete. And you know, I mean, everything needs repairing. This bumper needs repairing. It needs a lot of paint still. But once we get that on, we can just then fix our under trays on. I've got the wheel off there, so we'll fit a couple of tyres. And yeah, we'll just keep going, keep plugging away. So I'm getting there, just working my way through, fitting the side skirt properly, fitting the wheel arch liners and the wing. I just want everything bolted down properly so we can actually road test MOT the car before it goes off for paint. And one of the last wiring issues I've got is the missing air temp sensor. Now I can't find it anywhere, so I'm assuming it's these 2 wires here that are for the air temp sensor. So I have bought one, which is here, but I'm waiting for the connectors to come for it still. They should be here today, but what I'm going to do just to make sure it is that, because at the minute it's reading -40 on the dash. So there, look, as you can see, -40. So to confirm it is the air temp sensor, I've just taken some pinouts out of another unused connector, and I've just connected them up to these 2 wires here, and I'm just going to stick them in the end of here, and that should complete the circuit, and it will tell me whether it's correct. And there we go, look, all plugged in. I don't know if polarity makes a difference. Yes, there we go, look, +15 degrees, spot on. So that is now working beautifully. And we have 2 new tyres for the M2 as well. We've got some Conti Sport Contact 7s, purely because they were the best value tyre I could find that was still high performance. The tyres that are currently on it are actually the wrong size. They are the I think it's got 2 5.5s on it, when they should be 2 6.5s. So yeah, we'll get some proper tyres on it now. And also I've just popped over to BMW to pick up my last remaining parts. There's a few parts on back order, like this bit here. I've got my 2 trims that go along the bottom that I was missing, and I've also got my wiring set here, and the connector in there as well for the air temp sensor. So we are good for everything, hopefully. And there we go, I think I'm just about there. The only thing I've got left to do now is put the front bumper on, but just look how many trims. I mean, this is part of the reason this build has taken so long, because I haven't worked on BMWs before, and obviously the car was completely crashed. I had no idea just how many different trims I would need. Like, for all this corner here, we had trims around the radiator, we had brackets around the radiator, we had a trim on the back, we have air ducts for the brakes, we have this random thing trim here, we have then another trim that goes underneath, we have this trim that goes across the front, we've got that trim there. It just goes on and on. It just never ended. And then we've got 2-piece wheel arch liner, we've got one there, and then we've got 2 trims that go over the steering rack. We've got that trim that I've just now fitted along the bottom, look, as you can see. We had a main metal pan here. We had trims that went on the oil cooler underneath there, and then we had our trims. My back order trim is now here, I've picked that up. That is all now fitted fully, and there was one trim at the back, which you can't probably see, but that is now all done as well. So yeah, we are looking good. And I've just done the wiring for the sensor. It is here, look, all taped up, all pins successfully done properly OEM. So looking at the location of the sensor, it goes roughly where I've put it. I know it goes just above this radiator here on the driver's, or on the UK car, on the passenger side, but for the life of me, I cannot see actually where it slots into. So for now, I've just cable tied it on the top there, just so it's out of the way until I find out exactly where it goes. Yeah, last thing we've got to do now is get that bumper on. And here we have it. I kind of skipped ahead and did a lot of stuff off camera. I just got a bit carried away and just started cracking on. So the car is actually, I think, complete. Just bodywork outstanding. So I've actually put together, I mean, yes, the interior is absolutely filthy, and I haven't put that trim on there because I'm not sure if they'll need to take these side skirts off to paint them, if it'll be easier, so I don't want to put the trim on. But otherwise, the interior is fully back together, and I've just gone on the computer, cleared all the faults. I do have one fault come back. I'll just put a screenshot up of it now. I think it may be some sort of fuse by the battery terminal. I need to look into it, but yeah, we'll obviously have to sort that before we can MOT the car. But otherwise, the car is back together fully. So just going around here, look, you can see on me, bonnet lines are all good. Annoyingly, I've got the grille obviously, but I don't know if I should fit it, because I don't know if it'll have to come back off again to paint the bumper, so I don't have to fit it and then have problems getting it back off. So I might annoyingly just leave it off for now. There is a small repair we've got to do to this bit of the wing here. That'll happen when obviously everything gets painted. But otherwise, yeah, it is all back together and looking good. There is one thing I need to do with this driver's door. I don't know if you can spot it, but I need to slightly adjust it. So if you can see here, see that line down there, you can see it closes up a little bit at the bottom, and also if you look at the line at the bottom, it is a bit higher there than the rest of it. And if you look here, look, the line isn't quite bang on, it is ever so slightly off. So basically I just need to loosen the hinges on the door and basically twist the door a tiny little bit that way, just so it lines up a lot nicer, and that will sort all my problems out there. So yeah, I'm proper happy with this, how this has come out, sorry. Yeah, it's literally spot on underneath, spot on outside, just needs some bodywork, an MOT, and a road test, which will be very interesting. I think I'm just going to put some air in the tyres now because that keeps coming up with the fault, and we're going to go up and down the drive. What I have noticed is, obviously this is tuned 650 horsepower, and it's got massive overrun pops when you change down gear and let off the throttle, and they are loud. Obviously it won't come across on camera, but believe me, it's loud. Right, do I have the key on me? Yes. That's not going to come across on camera, but that is so loud. Jesus. Right. Let's go for a... I don't know if this is a BMW thing, but if you drive without your seatbelt on, it takes it out of drive and puts it into neutral, which is very annoying. Right. Of course. I've only got 9 miles of range, but I'm hoping I won't use all that. Right. Let's put it in Sport Plus manual. It's so loud. Like the Merc, I'm surprised how quiet. This is a stock exhaust. I'm surprised how quiet it is when the valves are shut. Sorry, I'm just going over a speed bump and it's lowered so it hits the bump. Yeah, I'm surprised how loud this is and how quiet it is with the valve shut. So. It almost sounds like I don't have an exhaust, which I don't think is the case. I'm pretty sure it's connected. It is lethal. I am very nervous to drive this on the road. But then if I put it into... take it off, I'll put it in efficient, completely quiet. I'm putting it in efficient because we have people that live here, and yeah, I don't think they're going to be too happy with me keep going up and down doing that. So I'm not going to lie, this is going to be an absolute weapon, and I will be slightly nervous, very nervous in fact, when I take this for a first drive test. Drive test? Road test. Very nervous. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I laugh. I think it's a nervous laugh. It's annoying because I was going to take it for a road test today on camera for you guys, but I've just completely forgot the fact I just don't have any number plates on the car. Complete oversight on my part. Can't drive it on the road without number plates. So that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I'm actually really happy. Although this car's taken best part of 8-9 months to get done, a lot of that was just trying to get parts and not knowing what parts I needed and keep having to go backwards and forwards, and then obviously getting other things in between. But I'm actually really happy with how so far it's come out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What do you think this car's gonna be like? Am I gonna bin it on the first drive road test? It is quite likely. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. The next video on the M2 will be, obviously I'm going to order the plates now, and then we'll be MOTing it, and once it's all good and we're happy with the car, it will be going off to the body shop for the paint to be fully done. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. The next video will be on the R8, which is just over there. I've had a palaver with the injectors. Bought some and they were defective, so I had to send them back, and I had to get some other ones and then get them tested. It's just this is why it's taken so long. But they are due back to me this week, so we should be back on the R8. So cheers, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.